What's up, everybody? We're back, and it's my turn. Here's what I'm drinking these days. My first kitchen cabinet pick, Will, is something that hit the market a couple years ago. It's Kentucky Distillate. It was really good. It was out of like a newer company, Blue Note, out of Memphis, and this is the Blue Note Juke Joint Whiskey, uncut. A lot of single barrel picks were available around here in the Middle Tennessee area. These things are fabulous. They're always good. And this thing does not drink high proof, but it's like 120 proof, 117, something like that.
Yeah,
it's really great.
This was something that we even talked about on the picks that surprised us, or whiskeys that surprised us video. If you haven't seen it, we'll link it below, but go back and see it. It was things that surprised us because when they first started coming out, we weren't sure what it was going to be like, but it's good Kentucky bourbon taken down there to the Mississippi River in Memphis and getting some of that swampy Memphis air to help it age a little bit. So I like them. Good pick.
Speaking of good Kentucky bourbon, my number 2, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond White Label. This stuff hits.
He loves it.
It's 100 proof, holds up in cocktails. You can drink it straight. It's fabulous. It's really good. It's not going to turn you away. There's nothing like super off about it. Is it younger? Yes. It's 4+ years old.
A little bit nuttier.
It's nuttier. Evan Williams is going to be a little nutty, but nothing off-putting in my opinion. So I really enjoy that pour right now. And I just recently rediscovered it.
Yeah,
it's one of my pours that I'm having right now because of Matt Madness. I actually used this as a prep.
Yeah,
and it was the first time I've had Evan Williams White Label in a long time.
Trying to pull out some of those Heaven Hill notes if you needed.
Exactly. And so
it's a
cost-effective this
bottle.
Thing's good.
Yeah,
so,
it's only like $20. It used to be cheaper. Some places it still is cheaper, like $15. But it's like a $20 bottle around where we live. Worth it. It's good. Like you said, it's versatile, especially as you head into the spring when you're going to be outdoors. You can make it old fashioned, throw it in some ice, and you're not like offending anybody by what you're doing to the whiskey. It's not something precious, but it still tastes good and it gets the job done.
Yep. Number 3 coming in, Wild Turkey 101. This isn't a lot of videos that I do because it's it's a bourbon drinker's everyday bourbon.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like we just need to stop. This is readily available. This is not Buffalo Trace Eagle Rare. This is not something like that. This is like a normal person's everyday pour, and it's freaking great.
I feel like if someone were to say, hey, what would be your desert island bourbon, but it can't be something that you can't just walk into any liquor store and buy.
Right.
Like, so right now, Buffalo Trace is off that list because it's just the standard label you can't get. Wild Turkey 101, I think, is, and even if Buffalo Trace were available, I think that is probably the most perfect bourbon. It's always on the shelf, so you know you can buy it. It's like 6 years old, 101 proof. It's delicious, high rye bourbon, hard to beat.
And I'm going to be honest with you. You know what they could do at any moment? They could discontinue Wild Turkey 101 and change it to 100, and then everybody will sell out everywhere the 101. So I'm just saying, go ahead and get you a case now.
They're not going to do that, though, because you know what? They're like, ours is one better.
Yeah.
It's like this amp goes to 11. That's why they did it.
My 4th one, Hogback Distillery. This is out in Colorado, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I had no ideas. A buddy of ours, Chris, brought it to Whiskey Weekend a couple of years ago, or a couple
You
of
had no idea,
ago.
even though he mailed you samples of it way before that, and you never even tried them.
He did. And I'm sorry about that. I've apologized about that. I haven't prayed about it. I'll pray about it too. But this stuff, I tasted this blind, and I thought it was a Four Roses. It's unbelievable. This stuff's like around 4 years old as well. It's out in Colorado. Making some waves, but yeah, I'm just into it right now. And I like discovering new craft distilleries.
And that one specifically is an Oak and Thieves pick, which is our barrel program.
We loved it so much. We contacted Joker's got 100 barrels.
Yeah, it's not a very large operation. When you talk about craft operation,
Yeah, so we contacted and we were like, we got to get a barrel of this stuff. This stuff was unbelievable. And they were like, sure. They got us a barrel of it. It is great. And we wish the best for them because they're producing some really good stuff. And their stuff's young. I can only imagine in 2 or 3 years. It's going to be unbelievable. Last one is a curveball, Will. I have got Copper and King's Apple Brandy Cask Strength. This is from Barrels and Brews.
You had like a 6-pack of that at least. You've gone through so many bottles of it.
I love it.
Is that your
so
last
much.
one?
No, I think I have. I think I have one more.
Yeah,
I think I do have one more. But this is an apple brandy at cask strength, a single barrel pick from Barrels and Brews from back in the day, and this thing basically, this is a bourbon drinker's brandy.
Yeah,
if I could say that.
That's a bourbon drinker's bourbon. That's a bourbon drinker's brandy. Over here's a bourbon drinker's rye.
Yeah. No, this is like if you don't like sweeter stuff like brandy, this is a good in between because it's got some light apple to it. Really, really good. And I use this because when everybody comes over my house, they're like, "Oh, you've got so much bourbon, you got so much rye, you got so much whatever." And I pull this out within 5 pours.
Yeah.
I always do because I'm like, check out this brandy. Yep. And it's awesome. All right, guys. That's all I've got.
Recap it for the people. What are the 5 whiskeys that you're drinking right now?
Yeah, it's going to be Blue Note Juke Joint Whiskey Uncut Kentucky Distillate out of Memphis. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond White Label. I've got Wild Turkey 101. I've got Oak and Thieves' single barrel of Hogback straight bourbon whiskey, Savor the Adventure. And then I've got Copper and King's Apple Brandy Cask Strength single barrel.
Thanks to everybody for watching. This is Grease's list. If you missed my list, it's also linked below. Go ahead and check that out. We had a lot of fun doing this, and like we said in the other video, what are the 5 things you tend to be reaching for right now? What are your go-tos at the moment? What have you circled back to? What surprises you? Let us know. We appreciate it, and give us a thumbs up while you're at it.
We'll see y'all.